Hello everyone and welcome to this very important channel update. Now you may recall that recently my GTX 680 had died and I created a Kickstarter to try and get another card that was powerful enough to run my editing software and allow me to render the videos that I do for this channel. Now the Kickstarter was not successful, but I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that donated. It really means so much that you guys enjoy the content on this channel enough to donate your own hard-earned money to keep it going. And even though it was not successful, I still want to incorporate you guys within the Golden Snail competition for War Thunder, which is what most of you guys selected as your backer goal. So I'll be in touch with you guys over the Kickstarter and figure out the best way to go about organizing that. Now, also a big thank you to all of my subscribers. Even if you weren't able to donate to the Kickstarter, you guys sent me just an overwhelming amount of positive feedback and comments just saying that you'll be here supporting the channel regardless of how long it takes to get back up and running. Now the biggest reason I wanted to make this video is to thank a YouTuber by the name of Ranger79Productions. Once he heard about my 680 dying, he had sent me a message offering to donate his old graphics card, and once I realized the Kickstarter was not going to be successful, I sent him a message, got back in touch with him, and he mailed out his card last week and it got here this weekend. And I've installed it on my computer, and you can see here I've got NVIDIA GeForce Experience open and I'm running a GTX 690 now, which is just an insanely good card for Ranger to have donated to my channel. It's essentially two 680s in one card. It's the best way to describe it. So I really don't know the words to say. Thank you to him for being so generous as to donate this card to my channel. Especially I'm a complete stranger who doesn't know me from anything other than the content that I've made on YouTube. I just cannot say thank you enough, because otherwise I don't know how long it would have taken me to get this channel back up and running, to be able to get a powerful enough card, let alone a card as powerful as a 690. So thank you again so much, Ranger. I owe you so much. Thanks for this, and again, I just don't even know how to express it with words. So the best way that I think I can express it is just to say, if you guys would be so nice to go over to his YouTube channel, which I've included a link in the description, and just go to the discussion board and just leave a thank you from yourself. I've already done it, you can see here. Just go there in discussion, say thank you for donating the card to my channel, and as well as just check out some of his videos. He posts lots of Arma 3 content, tactical gameplay, as well as some DCS stuff that's very tactical in nature. Lots of great communication with him and the squad mates that he's running with, which are the videos that I really enjoy for Arma and DCS. It's the reason why I play those games. So perhaps his channel might even be something you want to subscribe to. But again, thank you so much to Ranger79. Again, I just cannot thank you enough. It's absolutely insanely generous for you to have donated that card to my channel. It runs beautifully, it's a beast, and again, I thank you. Now the next thing I want to address in this channel update is just the question that you guys have been asking me a lot recently, and that is what video editing software I use. So here I've got open Sony Vegas Pro 13, and this is a primary software I use for importing clips, cutting them up, adding some various effects, and then reorganizing them into a final rendered video. So here I've just got a bunch of clips from Clips of Dover. As you can see here, I've got a Spitfire flying through the air. Now this is raw footage that I used, captured with shadow play, that I've imported into Sony Vegas. And if I wanted to, in Sony Vegas, I could add all sorts of crazy amounts of effects. You can see here all of these different plugins that I can use, both from Sony as well as third parties. Some of them are free, some of them are not. Anyways, I could add so many different effects through Sony Vegas. Now I've also got another program that I use for editing, which is what I use to add effects for this particular video. So here's that same footage, but with some effects added to it. You can see I've added some lens effects, I've added some film grain, color adjustments, contrast adjustments, things like that. Now the program that I've been using in addition to Sony Vegas is called Hit Film. So I can select the clip, click edit and Hit Film. It'll open that selected clip within Hit Film, and then I can add all sorts of crazy effects. Now I actually stumbled across Hit Film on accident. It came with Sony Vegas Pro 13 for free when I upgraded to it, and I'm so glad that it did, because it's such powerful editing software. Much more powerful for adding effects than Sony Vegas is. It's essentially like a not to make it sound bad, but a poor man's version of After Effects. It's not quite as powerful as After Effects, but it's nowhere near as expensive, and it's still extremely powerful software. It allows you to do all sorts of 3D editing. You can create 3D text, use 3D lighting. You can also use motion tracking, things like that, which is really awesome. So say for instance, this Spitfire footage you see here was of an actual real Spitfire that was filmed and flying, and you needed it to be firing its machine guns for the movie that you're making. You could motion track this scene and set points to all the gun ports on the Spitfire, and Hit Film will go through and analyze the footage frame by frame and keep each of those points you placed right on each of these gun ports. So then you can go through and add muzzle flashes to each of those motion tracked points and create the effect of the Spitfire firing its machine guns. I've actually got some footage where I did this in Arma 3, which you should see playing now, where I had an animation that I really wanted for a scene, and I needed the character to be firing his machine gun, but I could not figure out how to get the animation to actually make the soldier fire his machine gun while playing the animation, even though it was supposed to be doing that. So instead of troubleshooting through Arma, I just went in Hit Film, motion tracked the scene, and added a muzzle flash to the gun to make it look like it was actually firing. And if you look close enough, you can see that the finger of the character is not actually pulling the trigger. Now if I wanted to be a big stickler for detail, I could actually go through and modify the scene to actually make his finger look like it's pulling the trigger, but it wasn't that big a deal to me to go through the hassle of doing that. Now I've also got another scene you should be seeing now where I used motion tracking. So this is from a little sneak peek trailer I did for like an EOD bot scene, where the EOD bot is driving down the street, and then it cuts to the scene of a soldier controlling the EOD bot from a Humvee using a computer screen. Now on the screen you can actually see the camera view of the EOD bot. Now that's actually not something that happens in Arma. That's actually footage that I took of the EOD bot driving, added various effects to it to make it look like it's, you know, like a cheap camera from the EOD bot, and then motion tracked it to that computer screen within the Humvee to make it look like it was actually being played within the scene. So again, that's just how powerful this Hit Film software can be. Now for this particular scene, didn't do anything nearly as complicated. I've just gone through and added various effects. So here's that same Spitfire flying, and I've added these various effects you can see over here on the left. A little bit of camera shake, and it's got all sorts of fine detail that you can do and fine tune each effect much more than you can in Sony Vegas. Added a channel mixer, which just allows me to adjust the color values here, so I made it a bit more warm looking. Added a little bit of a glow, some film grain, some lens dirt, which gives you the lens effect that you can see where it looks like light is actually interacting with the camera lens. And then in certain areas, as it gets bright enough, you'll be able to see dust and stuff on the camera lens. Probably my favorite plugin to use with Hit Film. And finally I have this sort of CineStyle plugin that I use, where I can adjust the color, add a letterbox, add more film grain, and add a vignette to the film as well to make it more cinematic looking. You can add all these effects individually, but it's nice to have it sort of bundled in with the CineStyle. I'm not going to go into too much fine detail of like how I edit scenes and things like that. I'll do that probably in a different tutorial. I just wanted to give you guys sort of a backdrop on what I use for editing my footage and my software and all that good stuff. But anyways, again, thank you so much everybody that backed the Kickstarter and all of you subscribers to my channel. You guys mean so much to me. And then again, a huge shout out to Ranger79 for donating his GTX 690 to this channel. Thank you so much.